Hello, everybody in TV land. Hello and welcome to another late show of Warhamster. I'm Chris from Gross Models, but you know that already because you've already clicked the little link to come and visit the channel because that's what it's called. Welcome. This is say the late show of Warhamster, completely unrelated and nothing at all to do with Fox's earlier show that it bears a slight resemblance to, but not. I don't know where that happened. It wasn't anything to do with that. Right. Yes, this is where I continue my build of the Taurox Prime. I put my paints out, although I'm not going to be using all of them. But if I didn't have the paints out, then it all looks a bit monochrome. Everything's a bit yeah. Because I since last time I've got the airbrush out and sprayed it all white. Just in a primer, UMP primer. I didn't use the Citadel primer, but it's all okay. It's all good. Right, let's have a look. People are here. People are here early. As ever, Pascal was in. You know, like as soon as last week's finished. I think he's been there for a little while. You may notice that we have a new mod in tonight. We've got John in. I welcomed him into the fellowship of the Gross Gang. So he's now got a spanner and he's going to be looking after you until he falls asleep or has to go out, or I don't know what time it is. It's silly time there. I think it's really early in the morning. I think he might have just woken up, I think. But yeah, so they're in. Candygram for Mongo is in. Team Inept's popped in as well. Mark Dale's in, saying evening Mr. W. Evening Mark. Jamie Bones in. Fox is in as model making guru. Team Inept's still there. They're talking about widgets already. It started very, very soon. Fox says the music is the best because he wrote it. Widgets present and accounted for. It's good music, makes me happy in anticipation, says Candy Graham. It sounds like it was written for a terrible 70s porn film. Can't think who'd write music. Oh, right, says Paul. Yeah. Fix your white balance. It's all white. It's white. It's balanced because this is the colour of my hands. But it's all white, so it's going to be, the white balance is going to be messed up until I get some paint on it. Let's have a look. So very dark, he says. Not dark. It's that's it. Oh, he says exposure down, gain up a smidge, white balance to the right. It's I'll play around with it, but it's mainly because there's no other colour here. That's why. What did he say? Exposure down. The exposure doesn't go down any more than that. Gain up, white balance to the right. Let's play. Let's do the gain up a bit. White balance. I don't want to go to the blue because it's not really blue. Look, I get some colours. Alright, I've thrown the chat on the floor. I'll go and get that in a moment. But there we go. We've got so colours, and they're not like the colours that I'm seeing now. This is very green. So you have to bring that somewhere around there. Maybe going up a little bit. Ah, there we go. Oh no, because that's whited out all the white of the white, you see. Right, let me go grab the chat. Knock other things down as well. Right. I'm back. I didn't go far. I didn't knock the water over, I just knocked over the iPad. Right, John's a spanner, I've been span hammer. Stop waffling, get some paint on so we can prove you wrong. Yeah, I've played, it's fine. Right, that's it. Whoa, I don't know if that was because I knocked everything flying. Because you're a bit behind where I am at the moment, but... Right, previously, on the late show of the Warhamster, I painted that. Well, built and painted that, which Paul got me. Fox got me that, which I built and now need to do some painting on. And because it's just Christmas, after that, and the little dude that goes in it, Paul has also got me something else. A couple of other things. He got me that because it's funny. He got me some mega knobs. Yeah, I'm not going to do them yellow. I'll probably do them orange, same as the tank thing. But yeah, that's yeah. I don't know. There are 4 miniatures in there, but 3 of them look very big and 1 of them looks really tiny. I haven't really looked at them, but they're obviously the same square sprues that Warhammer always use. And yeah, that will be somewhat fun to do. As Paul says, mega knobs. And the other thing that Paul got me, very kindly, is one of them. It's a huge Orc battle wagon. Now, if I can get some of it in shot. He also got me the Orc battle wagon upgrade pack, which cunningly doesn't contain any instructions at all for the upgrade pack. So I had a look through the instructions for the battle wagon, and it doesn't mention, you know, oh look, you might be able to get some of this, but it doesn't. So when I come to do this, I shall be asking all of your help as to what do I do with it. There's big round things and big guns, and yeah, I think the guns are just sort of directly interchangeable for the normal guns, just to make them bigger and more shooty. There's 3 of these round things which probably make a complete tube by the looks of the angles of them, but I don't know. So if you know, let me know. You've got a little while, because I'm going to be doing the painting of that first. So yeah, right, now we have this to be getting on with. Fox's hand's a bit dark now. You're picky with all of this. You're going to expect it to be in focus now as well. So I haven't glued any of this together because I need to get under it to paint it. So the main body is obviously glued together, because I'm sure you all watched it last week. You know exactly what's what. Let's have a quick look. Fox says that's good. Painted what? Can't see. It's too dark. Says, I'm just going to ignore everything that Team Inept says, because it, yeah. Aviad's in, so then started swearing to myself the second those glossy Tamiya came on screen. Hate the X line. Yeah, they were just for looking at colours, basically. Not going to be using them. It's all Citadel all the way with this, apart from maybe some other stuff. Paul says I may not act like it, but I do like him a lot. Oh, and it's sweet. John says Orky battle wagon cool. Death Roller, says Aviad. It's a bit dark now. I'll just tag with that. Orc vehicles are basically made of scrap metal and wishes, so you can build them kind of however you like with the upgrade pack. You just sort of stick bits on wherever, apparently. So yeah, maybe. Candygram says it's more dramatic this way, kind of spooky. Aviad says Chris, when it comes to orcs, there's no right way to build anything. Just slap it on and say you converted it. So yeah, okay, that'll be somewhat fun. Right now on Fox's stream, he said that I might have done the gun bit wrong, because that's meant to be attached to the gun, not just his arms. I thought it was some sort of remote control-y thing, but it will actually fit onto there if I sort of twist it a bit. So before I glue it on, I'll be able to manipulate that and get that round there, so that it's all good. But I haven't glued his arms on yet, because with his arms on he doesn't fit through the hatchway, and he's got to sit there, and obviously I need to get to this bit to paint this bit. So he's coming out for now. I suppose in theory I could do it that way round and glue his arms in and get it all sorted up and then worry about positioning, but it's just going to be complicated, so no. I won't do that yet. We have to begin with the interior. Now, I haven't thought about the interior at all, because, you know, and Fox just says he takes it back. You've lined up the twin bolters and the dude in the turret quite nicely. It's almost there. It's not quite there. It will take a little bit of sort of straining of the twisty bit, but it's got enough give in it to make it line up. It'll work. I'm confident that it'll work. Now, as I decided, the outside of this is going to be orange, because it can be, so why not? So I figure I'm actually going to make them wear some sort of orange as well, as long as it doesn't make it look like they're just wearing prison jumpsuits. But we'll come to that as and when. I think I'm going to start with just the general interior, and I haven't even thought about it. So yeah, I've got a collection of Citadel paints and colours, and no plan. So yay, go me. I was so busy thinking about what I was going to do the outside that I didn't think about the inside. So it's going to be sort of normal military, grimy, grotty things. So probably something like cast, which I used a little bit on the pointy things. There's not so many pointy things on this, so it might not have much blood on it, unless I actually, you know, poke me things. Right, let's have a look. Orange camo for Volcano World, says Fox. Oops. I don't know what that was. Where'd he go? Stream died. Oh, the stream died and came back. My stream's been doing that recently a couple of times without it actually appearing like anything's happening this end. Everything is actually broadcasting okay and saying it's okay with no packet losses or anything like that. So I don't know. I've got a 0.0% dropped frames, apparently. I don't know. If it does, let me know, because I say I don't know. But I'm back, so there we go. And back in the room. Yeah. So green on the inside. Everyone happy with that? Well, not that, you know, it matters to you. I think I'll start on the inside of here because it's easier to cover up when I stuff it up really badly. That's obviously externally orange bits, so I don't need to worry about that. So move those out of the way, move that out of the way, move that to the front and centre. Right, assuming I am still here and nobody's just said anything after back in the room a couple of minutes ago, but there we go. I have a wet palette. I have a collection of big brushes, because it's Warhammer, you've got to do big brushes apparently. They tell me that. So I shall start with, I'm still on, says Fox, thank you. Some Castilian green. Just going to basically dump some in my palette. I'll give it a shake first because I haven't used it for a long time. Dump some of that in my palette. Look, new, fresh palette. Still moist from the tap. I'm just going to grab a blob of that because I'm going to be using quite a bit of this for sort of all over everywhere. Fox says, remember, base, shade, layer. Yeah, well the interior is more going to be base layer because reasons. But yeah, I thank you. I shall endeavour. Have you finished my drawing of my hamster yet? Hey, yeah, yeah, no. Right. So I'm just going to start slapping this on. I don't know what these bits inside are. I assume there's some sort of lights, because otherwise it would be very dark inside. But we can worry about that later. I'm just going to be using the green, and yeah, pretty much cover it everywhere just inside. Thin coats, 2 of them apparently. You always have to do 2 thin coats because that's the way. I think that's as far as they can count. So I'm actually going to cover everything inside here with the 2 thin coats. First coat, just making sure I'm getting into the ridges and stuff. And probably going to be told up doing it wrong, but there we go. Now thinking about the outside, the very outside bit is sort of on the outside when it goes together. Yeah, just checking. When that goes on there, that is actually external, so I don't need to cover that in green. I just need to go up to the inside bit, sort of in there. I can go on the inside bit, that's going to be glued, so it doesn't need painting at all. And this is probably not really going to be removable anyway, because I've got to glue the guy's arms on. So yeah, the painting in here is less important because you're never going to see it. You might be able to see some of it through the door. The doors I've glued open, so you'll be able to see something, but not much. So yeah, not that I'm overly concerned about any of my paintwork. I'm less concerned about this than normal. Simon Masters in, sneaking a few minutes in because he's at work. Welcome. Any time you give me is greatly appreciated. I don't assume that anybody will turn up at all for any of these. But yeah, it's lovely to have you here. Somewhere there's a number that tells me how many people are watching, but I can't find it now. Oh, there we go. 33 of you watching at the moment, apparently. So welcome all of you. If you're not actually watching on the actual YouTube app, then get yourself there. I'll try not to hit the microphone too much with the paintbrush. Get yourself there, because then you can join in the chat and say hello, and you know, everyone will look after you, and if you ask nicely, they'll show you where the kettle is and stuff like that. So yeah, click on the little YouTube icon, come along, say hello, and we'll all get along just fine. Get that done. The back of that is again on the outside, so I don't need to worry too much about that. I said moist. I didn't. Nothing wrong with the word moist. What's wrong with moist? Moist is a lovely word. It's very descriptive. It's when something's slightly damp but not wet. It's just nicely moist. It's fine. Right. I think that is pretty much that for the first coat on there. I've got all the bits and gone into his little crevices. You're probably going to giggle about crevices now, aren't you? So I'll put that to one side. Borrow Models in, saying hi all. Hello. I'm going to get the walls and the floor done in green as well, because you know it's sort of army colour and it's easy to make it look really dirty. So yeah, the seats I'll be doing the cushions in some other colour, so I'm not going to worry about going through the middles of them, but I do need to get the little bits around the edges. So the pipe work obviously again will need some attention. A little bit of detail painting in there, and up to the side will need doing, but not the top bit, because that's where the other thing attaches. Yep, crevice, or as our Italian cousins would say, crevici, apparently. Would they? Not if they're talking English, they wouldn't. They'd say crevice. I'm assuming this is the correct sort of size brush. I've got a slightly larger one that I could be using if you like, but I figured this was a good one to start off with. Stop me using the, you know, the triple O's and things that I normally use. And I think, although I've got lots of paint out, I don't think I've got enough, because I've got more to do, and I'm running a little bit low of it, but it wasn't a custom mix or anything, so it's not a problem just to grab some more. Now the inside of these doors will also need to be done in the green, because that's the inside. Old D's in, evening. Welcome to everybody. As you may have noticed, the building of this is finished. I don't remember who was here or not here last week and when I finished it, but I have done some priming of it. I primed the Prime because it's a Taurox Prime, you see. Okay, I'll stop doing that. Yeah, so it's been primed in white because the orange needs to go over the white as well. I could have primed the inside and the guys in grey or black. I did consider it, but then I thought, oh, why bother? Might as well just get it all done, and then it was all done. I have been having a little sort of mojo problem over the last couple of weeks, sort of over Christmas really, with general model making. Obviously I've still been doing this every week, but I've been finding it a little bit tough getting onto the normal model kits. I think it's just a you know, Christmas time and back to work and everything, and it's all just a bit much. I finished building the big R2D2, the 1/3 scale R2. So again, that was an end of an era sort of thing. Just going to grab some more paint out. You watch, I get much too much out now. There we go. John's actually working on his Taurox along with me, but yeah, that's going to look somewhat different to mine. It's not going to be orange for starters, and it's going to be built and painted to a higher quality than mine, no doubt. But that'll be interesting to have a look at later on. So John's only just started doing some videos, so click on his name, go and have a look at his channel. He's got a couple of videos up there, and a couple of others that are Patreon exclusive. One other at the moment that's Patreon exclusive. But I think there's one that's going to be coming available to all in the next few days. So have a look, go and see. I'm sure you know him from his blog. Basically he's doing the blog, but so you don't have to read it, you can actually listen to him talk to you. Yeah, so should do paint without brushes and psychic power. Use your wits against the paint. Oh yeah, okay. Just you can paint with your imagination. So it's gone exactly where you need it to go all the time. Paul at Team Inept is tidying up the Sansa Stark bust so he can have fun with the details. Yeah, Paul doesn't make so many models anymore. He's got into the painting of busts, which is something I've tried a little bit and didn't do terribly well at, but we'll come back to and have a play around with. I think the edges of this will probably need to be green, but I might need to come back with a smaller brush to detail those in. Yeah, so Paul's been painting it's not actually Sansa Stark, is it? Because they're trademarked and copyrighted and things. It's Lady of the North or something, or I can't remember exactly what it's called. But it's got some non-copyright name. Is it finished yet? I want to see you paint the orange. I'm probably not going to be doing the orange today, because I've got to do 2 coats of this and all the inside. So yeah, don't be holding your breath for the orange. It'll happen, but it won't happen immediately. You can go and have a nap. We'll wake you up when it's time for the orange. Probably next week. Or maybe the week after. But yeah, you won't miss it. Don't worry. Painting of the mind. Fox says Paul likes a nice bust. As I hear, yeah. My other side project that I've been doing, where I've not been up to doing real model making, also involves a bust, sort of to a degree. I'll give you a sneak preview of it in a moment. I have been doing that and doing some filming of that as something a little bit different, but I am doing that as a Patreon exclusive, say, build series. Not really a series, it's only going to be 2 or 3 videos really, and I'll show some pictures on my page for, say, normal folk. But yeah, that's been quite interesting, using the 3D printer. get all of these covered in green. Obviously the control panels are going to need flashy blinking lights and things, which I'll come back and do. Can't get under there with this paintbrush, so why don't they not do paintbrushes that have got like a curved at the end, like them curved tweezers? You should get some curved paintbrushes, because that'll make it easier for the people like me that are idiots and build walls on things without thinking how you're going to get round that corner. I suppose technically I could probably get in through the back there, but that's going to be tricky. I can get up there. That's alright, that's not so bad. Not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Let's see. Is it on the trolley? Can you point to it? I missed what we were talking about there. Just get some coverage on here. Obviously coming back and doing the second coat is going to give me a chance to catch all the bits that I missed. To be honest, you might be able to see bits that I missed more than I can on the camera sometimes because the angle's different. I know I missed the cushions, but I wasn't worried about them. Big chunks down the front that I haven't got to yet. I think I'm going to go through there. That'd be the easy way of doing that, wouldn't it? There we go. Not going to work for the fine detail things, but it works for this. You just jam it through the hole and wiggle it around. Down there, and there, in there, all in there. So most of this is obviously not going to be visible anyway, but you've also got the driver to sit on this side, which will cover up most of it, if not all of it. Up there that I missed. Got the bit the other side, a little bit around there. So I'll put that to one side now, come back and be able to do the second coat on that. But let's have a quick look at this. Fox says you can to me. I don't know what that was in relation to though, so sorry. Yeah. Curved swords. I don't know what curved swords you mean either. Again, you might be a few minutes behind where I am talking to where the chat comes out, so I don't know which one was. I wasn't using that one. I was using that one. LD's currently looking at Sazabi spruce, trying to decide if red or not. So far my mind's saying red, white, C1 frame and black metallic details. Okay. You can get in curved brushes. Oh right, you're way back there in the past. Yeah, I said that ages ago. Oh right, that'd be interesting. Yeah, that'd be fun. I want a brush with a curved tip to get in around the corners, like the tweezers, the curvy tweezers that are quite useful. So, LD's blaming me for turning him into a 144 lover. Yeah, well, not on this, not at the moment, because this is I don't know what scale this is. This is sort of 35th, is it ish, sort of. I don't remember. I know someone did work it out. Dad's in saying red, 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 because I think he's talking about the colours. Right, let's get the second coat on there. Miraculously, the second coat almost covers all of my dodgy painting. So the two thin coats thing's not a lie, you know. They mean it. Although when you're as bad as me, it might need 3. But actually, the problem is probably me in that I didn't add any water to this, other than what it sort of sucked up through the wet palette. So they're not actually as thin as they could be, my coats. But there we go. we're getting there. Let's get these sides done. Yeah, it's going to need one more after this, I think, when this is dried again. As ever, this is probably going to be an hour and a half-ish sort of stream. I know Fox does 3-hour-long streams, but I don't like listening to my voice for that long. And I'm sure you lot don't either. Someone did actually mail me and say that they don't normally watch streams for longer than an hour because they get bored. But some of my streams, they do actually watch a bit longer than an hour. So thank you for that. I can't remember who it was, but thank you very much. It's nice to be appreciated. I've got to do the inside of that as well, haven't I? If it's going to be an internal colour, it might as well be an internal colour. Get that round there as well. Remembering that that's going to need a second coat as well. I'll probably forget. Right, Mr. Loth's in, Vincent. Evening, guys. Fox is telling me if your coats are too thick, you need to have less on the brush. If that's the case, you need to wipe the excess off on the palette as you go. You can make a little go a long way. Yeah, I think I should have got some water on the brush as well before I did anything with it. That sort of spreads it out as well, doesn't it? So yeah, it's a learning experience. I'm here to show people deliberately how to do it wrong, so we can learn together and get it right. That's like most of my stuff. So that's not going to be quite dry yet. So I'm going to take a moment. I'll have a quick drink and show you the project that I've been working on quietly on the back burner, as it were. Right, a few of you in the Gross gang would have seen this previously. I 3D printed it. It's the wing of a TIE fighter, but it's actually being used as a base for another figure. All 3D printed, actually printed in two parts. You do the top half and then the leg half. And the legs actually print upside down for some reason, because that makes it all flow better. So I have just finished printing this earlier on, glued them together. A couple of the bits didn't stick very well, so I've had to refix those. And once that glue's properly set, I need to get back in and sort of scribe and get rid of the join lines and things. Paul's all excited because it's a girly figure. Yeah, I don't know how she does up the armour. It doesn't seem to close properly, shall we say. So yeah, that's the build that I've been doing. Say hours and hours of printing. Paul wants to see the details around the boobicle area. No, this is as much detail as you get. I did consider doing the flesh bits in flesh tone, and then obviously the white armour over the top. But I think I'm going to do it all black because I couldn't figure out how it would fit and work and go together. So I think she's going to be wearing a skin tight body armour black lining thing. So that will be up to the neckline, and then obviously flesh tone head. She's not wearing a balaclava, and obviously the white armour over the top of that. So it should look quite good. I do need to prime it first. This is just the filament, which has taken a few problems with getting rid of the support structures that build around it. But yeah, I need to prime that once it's dry and I've got rid of the seam lines. So I'll be priming that in the next few days, and then doing some painting on that. So, as ever, Lara, it's not, I don't know, it's been modelled on Thingiverse. Aviad says, I'm not sure how effective that armour's going to be. But Paul says it worked for him. Such a flesh tone wimp, he says. Right. Yep. Right. So, little aside to give us time for this to dry, which looks pretty much dry now anyway, so I shall continue on. Fox is going to paint his widge in widge tones, no body stocking nonsense. When you say paint your widge, no, okay, I won't mention, no. Because there's some build videos that nobody needs to see. Right, no, it's not dry because I've just noticed that the slightly wetter paint that I'm putting on there is pulling up some of the paint from there. So I shall leave that to one side to dry further. And let's see, I can start doing things like the back of the seat, or the seat itself, which obviously is going to be sort of the same colour as the inside of the vehicle, because it's inside the vehicle. So I'll just be slapping that on while I've got the paint. Might as well use it. Get that down there. Obviously the back of the vehicle, back of the seat, is the bit you're actually going to see if you're looking through the windows there, or the back door. So again, cushions in there, most of which is going to be covered by him sitting on it anyway. Just get some paint on there, in there, down there. Again, not worrying too much about over painting because I do need to go over him anyway. That's part of him, that's part of the chair. Let's get that done there. There we go, that's that one, that'll do. And much the same for this guy, although the hydraulic bit's obviously going to be metallic. The chair itself is still going to be painted. Foxy's saying hairdryer. Yeah, that's an option. I gave back the hairdryer that I used on the E-Models build. I could borrow it again, but it's, you know, effort. So paint something else, come back to it in a little while is a good theory. Actually, this paint is happening a lot faster than I thought it was going to. It's not even close to finishing time yet. Try and get just in there. There we go. Folks saying I could ruin 2 minutes a day and just make a tiny fig leaf. Yeah, I think you should. But obviously you'd be painting underneath it to begin with. You have to do all the painting of the bits you can't see. So you'd know it was there. You can't hide the wedge. Right, I'm gonna go for a smaller brush because I've got to get into some details there without actually covering him in green, because otherwise the orange just won't pop properly. Widge vision. Paul says he'd send even more widges if you don't mess with the widge. So, this is the first Warhamster of mine for the new year. How's everybody's 2019 suiting everybody? All doing all right? You'll get nice model kits at Christmas. I know I did have one between Christmas and New Year, didn't I? So I've already done the Christmas talk, but I haven't done the New Year talk. So, how was your New Year? Treating everybody okay? Eviad says you got the sharpen air thingy today. Been sharpening bent needles for the past hour. And no, that's not a euphemism, surprisingly enough, with the way the chat's going today. I assume we're talking airbrush needles. They sometimes need some tidying up. Wait, what? Oh, Osric's in. Evening. Get the steering wheel done as well. I know I should go back to the big brush for this, but I've got it in my hand, so it's just easy. There we go. That done as well. Ball bars are obviously going to be different again, and the rest of it's him and the gun, which is going to be metallics rather than green. Any of this? No, I think that's probably going to be metallic. Oh no, this is obviously the orange bit. The internal structure is going to be metallic, so no, don't need any green on that. That's not doing too bad, but while I've got the little brush out, let's get around and tidy up the edges. Still waiting on you all to tell me what your New Year's been like. Unless you've been saying and I haven't looked. That could easily happen. I'll post a quick review on the group. Took a micro needle from 90 bent to brand new. Freaking awesome. Yeah, that sounds quite impressive. How did you manage to bend it so badly? It's a real question. Just touching up some of these obviously lighter areas in the creases. It's going to need another coat anyway, but that's no trouble there. Oh, the bit on the top, that's where I was going to go. Let's have a look, see. Definitely need to get in around there. Airbrush needles and the bones inside your fingers equal a 90-degree bend. Ah, yes, if you yeah, stab yourself with them, it'll probably hurt as well. So I wouldn't recommend that. I would advise trying to keep the two of those things separated by some distance. It does sound like it would be a bad thing. Right, so everybody remember what green I've used on this for when I come back and do the orange and get it all over the green, because I'll have to come back and touch this up again. Last little bit in there, which I can't get again. Let's go through there to get to that. Do that. The edge outside is going to be outside. It's going to be the orange. So yeah, that'll do for that for now. Let's come back. Aviad says easy enough. Crown caps are for noobs. LD's been working. He started his Christmas holes a few hours ago. Yay, late holidays, yay. So you're on holiday now, that's alright. So the rest of us all gone back to work and we're all, you know, waiting for the next holiday, which is ages away. That'll teach us. Just using the smaller brush just to get into the little areas that I couldn't get to with the big brush, between the seat cushions. A couple of little bits here and there. Trying to remember not to paint the seats, although it doesn't make any odds. One of them's almost completely painted anyway, so. But they're going to be dirty and weathered enough to not worry about slight differences in paint tone. Here we go. Right, let's see what we've got at the front there that I might be able to get to with this. A couple of bits in there, yep. A few free times. There. LD says it's cool because you get quiet shops and play God of War without the kids wanting the TV turned over. Yeah. There's always a silver lining, benefits to all sorts of things. So I work in retail during the day, during the week, and I've always done it. Even when I was at school, I had a part-time job doing retail work, so it's never bothered me. And it's nice to have a day off during the week when I can go out and do the shopping and things like that, when it's not trying to rush round on a Saturday when everyone's doing it. So yeah, I completely get the having holidays at a different time to everybody else. Pleasant times. Right, so this is getting there. Aviad says, got a love our generation complaining about the kids not letting us play video games. Absolutely. Yeah. Not a problem. It's strange. My two children have never... They play video games, but they don't play video games the same way that I play video games, in that it becomes a, something to do rather than just a, I think I'll do that now. It's, you make a point of video game time and try and set it aside, and you get an hour to go and play Elite or Red Dead or something. Whereas they tend to be more sort of, play it on the phone while they're waiting for something to happen, or waiting for Facebook to load. Right, I think that's all the crevices covered with this brush. So I'm going to try again with the bigger brush, now that's had a bit of time to dry. I think it'll be alright this time. Sergeant Bones is in, making a mess now, aren't we, Chris? Yep. Fox says, where's Sergeant Bones? I saw him a minute ago. I don't know if he's still around. LD watched Sing over and over for a whole day. I know all the words now. What's Sing? I don't know Sing. Is that... It's not another Disney thing, is it? It's something else. Right, what we got? Let's get rid of some of the water from there. No, nobody's seen Sergeant Bones. Oh well, it was nice while he was around a little bit, but he's not around very much now. Yeah. Get some paint splashed on there. Don't think I'm going to get much more done of this today. Not going to start on the orange pool before you ask, if you haven't fallen asleep. Just going to get the second coat on this, and it will need a third, but whether that's tonight or next week, we'll see. It's not so not going to be a long show tonight. Painty, not as much going on as buildy, so once this is all dry in there, obviously it will need some weathering. I need to go and research Warhammer weathering. It's not just emptying a pot of Nuln oil all over it, I don't think. Paul's also upset because he wanted the orange. Orange denied, says Fox. Yep. You carry on wanting the orange, and soon you'll get it, but not today. I'll let you look at the orange pot. There you go. Put the orange there. It's Troll Slayer orange, apparently, for the slaying of all your troll needs. A bit more paint out. Double kill, Sergeant Bones. Is that a Quake reference, or am I reading too much into it? Oh dear, Warhammer 40k space is a good place to stay. My phone's really smart and just used all the suggested words. So, painting. I won't make you watch paint dry because that can apparently be quite boring. And you're not giving me anything to talk about, so. Obviously today is now, this is this. The next Warhamster will again be next Sunday night, same time, same place. But there isn't going to be a gross gang evening with this week, which is normally my Thursday thing. I've got a family meal, so I'll be out of that. I'm not going to live stream that because some of the family would probably be quite cross. But obviously tomorrow night I'm back with Fox and Ted for the Immortals Monday night live stream. Obviously most of you are all well aware of that already. Come along, it's gallery week, as Fox said earlier. We've got to we'll get together before the show and fight out who's going to win. So if you put something in the Immortals gallery, it could be you, as they say on the lottery adverts. Could be, but it probably isn't. But on the Immortals thing, it might well be. If you've got something in the gallery that's been 5-star rated and it catches our eye, that's all it needs. It doesn't need to be the best build, best paint job, best anything. It just needs to catch our eye and be defended by one of us long enough to win the adoration of all of your peers. Get some paint slapped in there. So it's mostly looking green inside there now. There's a few bits that obviously need a touch more, and I'm going to get the smaller brush back and have a go at the insides of these doors again. Candygram says live stream model making during your family meal. They won't mind. They might, because it's not going to be here either, it's going to be out. So I'd have to take, you know, a table with lights and cameras and computer, and yeah, it's not practical. I could try saying, but Mongo said that I should. I don't think it would go down very well. I'll take a note from each of you. So look what we got there. LD says Pickles and I have been working on the order for the last 3 days. We've had a few no Tamiya left in the sale. Today we've been unable to get the base of the item to be delivered. Yeah. I didn't mean to recognise much of that. I'm not sure. I must have missed the beginning of that conversation. Sorry about that. Let's get this bit done. Where are we? We're an hour in. It's not unheard of for me to finish in an hour, but I'll be around for a little bit longer. The top bit's going to need another coat, I think, and that dries quicker than all of these little nooks. Yeah, definitely going to need to touch up the white around the edge there. A little bit in there. A little bit in there. Cool. Let's come back and see about the seats. Vincent's off. He's got to go to work early. Catch you later. Bye bye. LD says my phone did it. That sentence thing. Was that just pressing the middle button or something? Is that the one that tells you something about your psyche, because that's the word you use more often, or it learns what you might type at some point? Get this done. Cool. Quite like this green. It's quite a nice sort of dark, sort of army type green without actually being army green. Let's get the middle bit done as well. Don't need to worry about inside there, because that's obviously going on to the bit inside already to sit onto. Sergeant Bone says he does that too, and LD says Terry Pratchett must be channeling my predicted words. That would be cool. I haven't been able to bring myself to finish the last Pratchett book in the Discworld series. I've had it since it came out, but started reading it a couple of times, but knowing it's the last one, and it's the last one, makes me sort of not want to finish it. He's got a little sting on his armrest or something. I don't know what it is. Some sort of don't know, control panel. I suppose you need a control panel to make your seat go up and down. So otherwise you'd press the button to make your seat go up when he's down and wouldn't be able to get back down again. 28. Drop some in the wet palette when working with Citadel paint. Works beautiful. Not really any problems with it not being smooth. I think the only problem I have with it is user error. Citadel paint is normally very good. It's just my use of it that isn't. Because it's me using it. That's the real problem. There's a reason I'm part of Team Inept. Zad's saying he hasn't read the last book either on purpose. Yeah. Great shame. Got one book signed by him when he did a book signing in the town I was working on in at the time. So there we have, I think, all of the green done, except for a couple of bits that will need a third coat. Sergeant Bone says, funny thing, I guess I write too many MP quotes. If I start with "we are the," my phone suggests "knights who" next, and it's going to be "say neat." I didn't know what MP quotes were until you got to the end of it. And figured out it's obviously Monty Python. Nice little two-tier shrubbery effect. So I might, between streams, come back and give these another coat just to tidy them up, so I can be getting on with doing other things when you know, next week, rather than have to start with another coat and then wait for it to dry, even if I do borrow a hairdryer. So yeah, it's probably the best bet. I never said I'd be doing everything live. I'll do most things live because that's, you know, what it's all about. I know some of you do enjoy the, well, all of you. Okay. And it quit again. Yeah, I just noticed that. Apparently I'm back. Yeah, it's very strange. I'm not sure what's happening with that, but apparently I'm back. Sorry about that dropping out. Looks like the chat's dropped out as well this time, because I'm sort of behind the times on that, I think. Only a couple of minutes behind on the chat. So it might well have dropped out just a minute or two before. Don't know. My internet connection is apparently fine. It's coming through and saying it's fine. I do checks on it and they all come back fine. The download and upload speeds are well within what they should be, and should be stable enough. The ping's down at, you know, less than 10 micro millisecond things, whatever the numbers mean. It just, yeah, Candygram from Mongo's got it right. The internet doesn't like Chris. Apparently it's conspiring against him. Yeah. First time I've seen jump cuts in a live stream, says Fox. Yeah, it's clever. You have to be specially empowered to be able to do live jump cuts. Very tricky. Unfortunately, this time the chat went down as well, so I didn't even notice that you'd told me that it had died, because that had died as well. But it reconnected, it came back on. I don't know. I really don't know. I'll have to do some research and looking up to see what's going wrong with it. Google comes up with new features all the time, it seems. It does indeed. Fox is wondering if it's router issues. It is also possible. I am not using the router that actually comes from Virgin Media, who's provide my broadband. I've actually got a decent router plugged into it, which gives me much better coverage around the house. And it is just over there, it's plugged directly into the computer, so it should be fine. I'll have some playing around and see if I can figure out what goes wrong. But, so the connection's saying it hasn't got any dropped frames, but then all of a sudden it dropped. I've got notifications. I had some dropped frames, 23% dropped frames, and then 11% dropped frames, and then it disconnected. So yeah, there's obviously something going wrong on occasion, just glitching. I apologise for the technical issues we're currently experiencing. I'll spend some time over the next week trying to figure it out. Hopefully it won't happen tomorrow on the e-models stream. If it does, Fox will be there to entertain you. Do a little dance or something. It'll be fine. Borrow Model says the decent router is still plugged into the VM router. Yeah, this is true. But I must admit, apart from their router not having great Wi-Fi signal, I don't really have any trouble with Virgin Media stuff. The connection's generally very sound. I've had a couple of issues with it over the last year, but only a couple. Not nearly as much as I've had with other broadband providers. So I'm still pretty much happy with them, but anyway. Yeah, so I've got some green in there, so at least it's not all monochrome anymore. In case my internet dies completely, I'm going to call it a night there actually. So look, another short show. I'll do occasional short shows to keep everybody on their toes. I will do some touch-up work on that in between now and next time, but nothing major. Just so another coat basically to get them all up to speed, and then we can start doing some more detail stuff inside there actually. So yeah, LD says Virgin have been really good for him. Yeah, I've had a couple of problems, because you always have trouble, but I haven't had any major problems with them ever, really. We used to have them and stopped having them about 20 years ago, because they stopped doing one of the channels that the kids liked, or one of the kids liked, and went over to Sky, but came back when they brought the channel back actually a year or so later. Yeah, thanks for watching. As ever, I hope you've enjoyed hanging out and watching the stream. As I say, the next time I'm live on the telly is tomorrow night for e-models. But after that, as I say, there won't be a Thursday show this week. It will just be this again next Sunday evening. Fox is saying, if your router is plugged into an extension, I'll send Paul round to slap you in it next week. Not in an extension, it's directly, the thing's over there. It's sorted. Not on PlusNet, that's your problem, right? I didn't PlusNet, that was like 1837 or something, wasn't it? Fox is saying it looked quite good white. Yeah, but if I leave it white, Paul will be cross because he's been promised orange. So it's the same thing. Whenever you prime something in the Star Wars ships, when I prime them in black, they look really good, and you're almost tempted to leave it black, but no, it's always better when you get some colour onto it. So that'll be good when it's bright and shiny. Oh, John's back. He's obviously finished building his Taurox. He'd be finished now. So yeah. Candyman from Mongo says, thanks, Rest. Enjoy your Thursday meal. I will. So have a pleasant one. I'll catch you tomorrow night anyway for e-models, and then back here for more fun same time next week. Bye all. Thank you. I'm going to click some buttons and go stream ending now and play some little music, and then I'll go offline. So bye. Good night.